Think about the last argument you actually won. You had the facts, you made the points, they ran out of answers. Now the honest question, did they change their mind, or did they just stop talking to you about it? Dale Carnegie built a whole chapter on that gap, and its title gives the game away. You can't win an argument. This video is the method for the alternative, how to actually change someone's position without buying an enemy. It starts in a strange place, with two murderers and how they describe themselves. 1931, New York police corner two-gun Crowley, a cop killer, after a shootout involving 150 officers. Here is how Crowley saw Crowley. His words, "This is what I get for defending myself." And under his coat, in a letter written during the gunfight, a weary heart, but a kind one that would do nobody any harm. Al Capone, the most feared crime boss in America, described his career like this: "I have spent the best years of my life giving people the lighter pleasures, helping them have a good time, and all I get is abuse." He wasn't performing. He was reporting his sincere self-image. Carnegie's point in opening with these men: if killers don't blame themselves for anything, what about the people you and I deal with? Nobody is the villain of their own story, which means every argument you start has an invisible structural problem. You're asking someone to accept a version of events in which they're the problem. No fact pattern on earth makes that offer attractive. That's why criticism produces defense, not correction. Attack a person's position and you aren't engaging their reasoning. You're threatening their self-image, and the self-image outranks the reasoning. They stop listening for accuracy and start listening for ammunition. You can watch the moment it happens. The eyes change, and after that you're not in a conversation. You're in a siege. So here's the procedure. Step 1 happens before you say a single word. Write their justification in their voice as if you were their lawyer. Not a strawman, the version they would nod at. What does the world look like from inside their story, where they're the reasonable one? And enforce the rule on yourself. If you can't write their side convincingly, you don't understand the situation well enough to argue about it yet. This step usually pays out one of two ways. Either you find the pressure they're actually under, which changes what you say, or, more often than anyone admits, you find out they're partly right, which changes what you want. Step 2. Before arguing, ask, what demonstration would make this argument unnecessary? This is Carnegie's ground, and Robert Greene's 9th law says it flat. Win through your actions, never through argument. Words invite a rebuttal. A working prototype, a trial run, a finished example, these don't have a comeback. If we ran it your way and mine side by side for a week, would the argument even need to happen? Then run that and skip the argument. Step 3. For the arguments you can't demonstrate away, open with agreement, sincerely, on whatever piece really is right. And if any part of the wrongness is yours, claim it first and harder than they would. Carnegie's instruction is to admit error quickly and emphatically, because it does something almost mechanical. Their prepared attack has nowhere to land, and the siege posture stands down. Now two people are examining a problem instead of defending two stories. Step 4. Whatever correcting is left, do it in private, and let the idea become partly theirs. An audience converts every disagreement into a status contest. In public, backing down costs face, so even a persuaded person will defend a position they've stopped believing. Privately, offer the correction as a question when you can. What would happen if we tried it this way? A conclusion someone walks to on their own 2 feet is one they'll defend for you later. Notice what the 4 steps have in common. Every one of them protects the other person's story about themselves. That's the entire technology. You're not out arguing anyone. You're making it cheap for them to move, because the expensive part of changing your mind was never the logic. It was the confession. The honest caveats. Some arguments aren't about the issue, they're tests of dominance, and their demonstration plus distance beats any technique. Some hills are worth dying on: values, safety, contracts. This method is for the 90% that aren't. And done cynically, all of this curdles into manipulation. The difference is whether you're open to being the one who moves. Step 1 only works if it's real. Your assignment this week: take the disagreement currently running in your life. There's always one, and do only step 1. 20 minutes, their case, in their voice, written as their lawyer. Don't plan your rebuttal. Just see what the exercise does to your next conversation with them. It's rarely nothing. A cop killer with a kind heart, a crime boss dispensing the lighter pleasures, and a colleague somewhere who is, in their own story, being remarkably patient with you. You'll never argue anyone out of their story, but make it safe to edit and people revise themselves. That's the win that doesn't cost you the relationship.